mean, we can talk about it. You can edit out whatever you. Okay. So,
did you know about this story growing up?
I had the benefit of knowing nothing about the subject. So. I learned about it about 5 or 6 years ago. You want me to start off holding it up, maybe?
Yeah.
A friend of my dad's named Max Williams gave me this jersey about 5 or 6 years ago and told me the story of the Dallas Texans basketball team.
They weren't second and third stringers. They were the stars of the team.
They're all the major players.
We had some ballers. We were going all over Kansas, all Missouri. We were barnstormers.
we would sell out gyms with 3,000 or 4,000 people.
We played fire departments, police departments,
Faculty,
the Raiders, 49ers.
Someone said, well, let's play the Royals.
And he frickin' slams it. I'm going, this is gonna be unbelievable.
The basketball team wasn't that completely out of order when it came to promotional ideas from Lamar.
What really surprised me was basketball teams that played on donkeys.
They did have scoopers out there. Thankfully, they did.
And we walk in, and this place is packed. It's not fans, it's prisoners.
I thought they were idiots. What are these guys doing? I had no earthly idea.
Starts off as charity, but at the end of the day, we always wanted to win.
Every NFL player thinks he could have played in the NBA. I'm just telling you.
I've covered all kinds of beats, school boards, library districts, community colleges, cities. I've covered crime, I've covered murders, I've covered school strikes. I once did a feature story on a 9-month-old who could whistle. I didn't have a kid at the time, and I didn't even know that was unusual, but people assured me that that was unusual. So I've done a wide variety of things. Readers just send me any kind of question. You wouldn't believe the range of questions, which is fortunate because it gives me the opportunity to kind of pick the ones that interest me. I got an answer man question from a guy. He remembered as a boy, he and his dad went to see the Chiefs football players in a basketball game. He wanted to know more about that game, who won, who else played. I could not find that story. So I didn't quit there, so I called some people, and I ended up talking to Ned Reynolds, longtime sports reporter in Springfield. Ned said, I played in a basketball game, and I said, oh, okay. But he was on a donkey. And I run it by him again.
I was in the media at that time, and our station was one of those helping to promote this donkey basketball game. So they said, well, Reynolds, you're the lead sports announcer here. You get out. I don't know anything about donkeys. Barely know anything about basketball. I didn't play the game. The team that I played for, of course, was all the media people here in town. The sports announcer from Channel 10 played in the game, the newspaper group, the editor, and the sports writers. Father Harry, he played, and he was a broadcast priest. Of course, he was also a very strict practitioner of the Catholic faith. He was a very good athlete. Very good athlete. And then the Chiefs had their own players, and they were, for the most part, all guys who had contributed mightily to what the Chiefs had done. They were everything. These are the Kansas City Chiefs, and they are heroes down here to the sports public.
I've never seen anything like this. Broadcasting team football, this has been number one.
You have to remember now, they won the Super Bowl in 1970.
The greatest day in the history of Kansas City. This team is the greatest in the universe.
It's amazing to think today you would put a star professional athlete on a donkey to play at a charity game, but they did.
Bobby Bell would have been down here, Willie Lanier, Otis Taylor, and Buck Buchanan.
They weren't second and third stringers. They were the stars of the team.
The Chiefs' best rusher was gutsy Ted McKnight. who often ran over defenders when he couldn't go around them.
Yeah, I was part of that deal. They wanted to do something different, so we were trying to play basketball riding donkeys.
Have you ever done it?
Let me think about that. No.
Well, I came here as a TV broadcaster in 1967, but there was never an occasion for me to be here at the Shrine Mosque until March of 1971. It was my first visit here. There were probably 3,500 to 4,000 people, all in this particular basketball court area, plus the seats on either side. And this was the closed circuit telecast of Muhammad Ali and Joe Frazier in their first fight. When Ali was knocked down in the 15th round by a great big sweeping right hook that Frazier threw. I mean, this place exploded like a jet engine. It was incredible. This was the focal point, the Shrine Mosque in downtown Springfield, for almost all events. It's just one of the Ozarks' iconic entertainment venues, and it's one that was very much a part of the Kansas City Chiefs donkey basketball. You chose your donkey and you got up on that donkey, and if the donkey permitted you to get on his back.
Some guys were afraid to get on these donkeys. It's like, no, I'm not getting on that thing. What if it bites me? The donkeys were small, guys' legs were hanging off. We weren't on saddles. We were literally riding them bareback. And so you tried to wrap your legs around and hold on to them. You were afraid if you squeezed them that they would buck you off. I think one of them sat down, and that was it. He was done for the day.
Mine was either a slow learner or didn't give a damn. I got very frustrated and at one point got off the donkey and looked him in the eye and said, "Will you do what you're supposed to do here?" He didn't like that at all.
It was odd to try to shoot a basketball from the back of a donkey. It'd be like sitting in a chair trying to throw it up there, except these chairs moved.
If you're a great athlete, are you still a great athlete on a donkey? Or could I could be just as competitive not being an athlete as long as I'm on a donkey?
I think I went scoreless in that game, 0 for 1 or 0 for 2 somewhere, and nobody called any fouls.
I remember very little.
Who won it? Can't remember.
I don't know who won that game.
The donkeys were the winners. They were the ones that the fans came to see. Taking it seriously, please forgive me, hell no.
My dad's nickname growing up was Games. He always loved playing games and creating games for his family. In fact, when we were on family vacations, he would often come up with a competition. And that carried over into his professional life.
Good times. A really, really good time. A real good time. We're having a good time.
My dad was an incredible fan of sporting events. He loved going to SMU football and basketball games. While he was still at SMU, he got involved in his first sports-related business, which was a batting cage business called Zimma Bat. Eventually, the costs outweighed the revenue and he had to close it down, but it didn't diminish his love of sports and entertainment. My dad graduated with a geology degree, and he got involved in his family's oil and gas business. And it only took him 2 or 3 years to figure out that he just really didn't like the oil and gas business. And instead, he wanted to pursue his passion, which was sports. And specifically, the thought of bringing professional sports to his hometown of Dallas, Texas. He spent a few years thinking about whether he wanted to start a baseball team or a football team, and ultimately decided that football had a really bright future, in large part because it televised well.
The league will get a title of its own, and its owners will affectionately call themselves the Foolish Club.
My dad was a very creative person from a promotional standpoint. One of the promotions he had at early Texans games was a bring your barber to the game day. My dad's rationale was, who talks to more people than a barber? And so he thought if he got the barbers to the game, that they would talk to their clients about going to Texans games and would find that very entertaining. How he came up with those ideas, I have no idea.
Everything seemed perfect here with an owner, a very creative owner in Lamar Hunt.
He was always interested in any kind of crazy promotional deals, no matter what it was.
My dad was looking for a way to promote the Texans during the offseason. And so he came up with this idea to start a Texans basketball team that was made primarily of the Dallas Texans players.
The basketball team wasn't that completely out of order when it came to promotional ideas from Lamar.
The game has really gone nationwide, and I think the game's going to continue to prosper.
One of the funny parts about that first season is the team lost its very first game. And my dad quickly became very concerned that having the Texans out on this tour and losing games was going to reflect poorly on the organization. So he went to some of his friends at SMU and said, hey, you've got to give me some real basketball players because I can't have my Texans team, losing games. Max Williams, he was one that my dad reached out to try to get some better players for the team. Max was sort of a legend in the state of Texas.
Lamar, who was brilliant, he said, I'm really having a problem with keeping our players in shape in the off-season. Would you consider forming a team that would travel around Texas? We want you to play and we want you to coach. We went to Lowe's Fieldhouse here in Dallas and had kind of like a tryout.
The team then became sort of a mixed squad that included some Texans players and some really good basketball players from SMU.
We played probably 30 or 35 games, and we only lost one game. And that was the first game we played, and that's the only game we lost. And hey, we played them like you're playing for the NCAA. We had 3,000 or 4,000 people there. I do remember one thing that he said after our game. He said, Max, you need to shoot him more. That made me feel pretty good because I thought maybe I was jacking it up too much.
I was so shocked that Max kept this in a closet for all those years. I also couldn't believe how small these shorts are, and the fact that they actually, fit on a Texans football player is pretty incredible.
It was a great experience for all of us. It was a good deal for the Dallas Texans, and Lamar made it that way.
My dad continued the tradition when the team moved to Kansas City. And I have no doubt that he had the same thought that this was a great way to promote the team in Kansas City.
They actually had a pretty good team.
The last thing I could have ever thought about, a Chiefs basketball team. How interesting.
They had us involved, this meet and greet all over.
We call our team Mid-America's team. We represent Kansas, Missouri, the western half of Missouri, Oklahoma, Arkansas, Iowa.
And Lamar wanted everybody to go out and just you shake hands with them. They can say, hey, I saw him personally. I shook hands with him. I got an autograph from him, That's what it was all about, the fans,
People weren't used to seeing the individuals outside of a uniform on television with a helmet on, and here you are a whole person. You don't have a helmet.
So this is the off season, so they're not going to be around all the time. Sometimes the teams would change.
There weren't spring practices, there weren't OTAs.
We didn't have off-season training camps. We might come in and work out, but I don't think that we really had the kind of training camps that these guys come back to. I swear I saw where someone had made a 50-pound weight out of coffee cans, concrete, and a pipe.
I think it's very important for us to bring everybody into training camp with a very open mind, and this is exactly what we do. We don't particularly care where the boy is from, what color he is, what nationality, what anything.
In the off season, guys worked, and then we worked out together. In today's game, the salaries are such that you don't have to work. You have to train. We came to training camp to get in shape. Today, you come to training camp in shape.
Players were literally off work for something like 6 or 7 months.
Players weren't making a whole lot of money, so they needed something to pay the bills in the offseason.
Playing in these charity games, they got a little more cash. And in my first column, I posed the question, I wonder what NFL players, the average salary was in 1970. And whatever you think it is, it's lower. Is $23,000 a year.
You never worked out year-round to play because you had business to do, other activities to be involved with. The reality in 1967 was
we weren't making that kind of money.
So we all had to go out and find second jobs.
My part-time job was as chief. My full-time job was General Motors,
We got paid weekly, so 16 weeks, you got a check every week, and then when the season was over, you had to find another way of generating income.
We made a few bucks after the season and enjoyed staying in shape,
I think they were happy to show people how athletic they were and just show off their skills a little bit in something other than their designated sport.
Many of them had played basketball. They played in high school or college.
Buck Buchanan played at Grambling. Len Dawson played at Purdue.
I think I was the first black basketball player of Minnesota. We had some guys who could play basketball.
These were not things that were played before small audiences. There'd be a lot of people show up.
They wanted to say they had the opportunity to play against the Kansas City Chiefs players. If you can beat Bobby Bell, you can go around and tell everybody, huh? But that's not going to happen.
They were football players, but they were athletes. They didn't want to lose.
These guys weren't just a football player. They weren't just a basketball player. They were athletes, and they were the greatest athletes we know.
And so we just got together and we would go to high schools and play against the coaches and the teachers.
Most of the time they played groups like the Rotary or someone like that, but they did play other teams.
We went to Denver and played against the Denver Broncos.
They played Miami Dolphins, Green Bay Packers, who they crushed. The St. Louis Cardinals football team played them yearly. It was all in good fun, but it could get physical.
They try to do a layup or something like that. They get knocked down, man. They learn real quick.
We wanted to win. We got a call to see if we wanted to go up and play in Leavenworth against the prisoners, which was really kind of a frightening thing. You think about it, and the guy says, look, it's going to be very safe. Don't worry about it. There'll be security. Everything will be fine. So we get up there, and you walk in, and the gates are opening up, and you walk past the gate, and then it slams behind you. And every time we go through a door, you'd hear another one slam. They put us in our locker room, and we're changing clothes, and we're talking trash. It's like, these guys don't know what they're about to get into. We're just going to run away with this game. And we walk in, and this place is packed. It's not fans, it's prisoners. And there's security around the floor. But they're yelling at us and calling us fish. The second half, the lights went out. You never saw so many guys grab wall in all your life. We panicked. Guys are on the floor going, we're in these prison cell with these guys, there's gonna be issues. And then the security lights came on. The guy says, someone must have hit the breaker or something. That was an interesting experience. I could leave you with a few nightmares.
I have no earthly idea why they would want to put themselves in harm's way during the offseason when you take a chance of getting hurt. And you know what? I don't think they ever thought about it. I thought they were idiots. I'm going, what are you guys doing?
We were still in that phase where the team was...
The Chiefs at that time were really suffering.
We were not winners. We were not winning at that time. And, you had a 80,000-seat stadium, and we might have 25,000 people in it. You could fire a cannon and not touch a soul.
They were going through coaches. They weren't really winning playoff games. But during the off seasons, you would get flyers or phone calls from people, and they would say, hey, we're having the Chiefs basketball team out, and they're going to play against our faculty, and we're going to raise money for new stands, or we're going to raise money for a certain charity. And all of a sudden, here's all these professional athletes playing basically pickup basketball games against teams of faculty members, all-star type people. They were playing the Royals in celebrity basketball. The Royals were packing them in those days, all right?
Gossing's ready to pitch. Swinging a high fly ball. Deep right field. There she goes.
The Royals had a much bigger drawing at that time than we did, and more recognizable names.
I really started to cover George Brett. He really became, for me, like a real icon. The way he led that baseball team, the way he competed.
He was a ferocious competitor.
Fastball drilled to right. Grand slam home run.
Very solid Royals, very much musical chairs for the Chiefs. There's a much different atmosphere in both of those stadiums than it is today.
And someone said, well, let's play the Royals.
Oh God, you know, we're going back, 50 years, 40-something years. I remember playing a game in Raytown South. I remember playing a game at Rockhurst High School, and they were all fundraisers. I remember one time I shot an air ball, and everybody in the stands starts yelling, air ball, air ball, air ball. I'm going, God, I never shot again. I was afraid to shoot. But the one that I do remember, I'll never forget, is the one against the Chiefs at Municipal Auditorium. We didn't know how many people were going to be there. It's sold out, and it seemed like half of the stands was rooting for the Royals and the other half was rooting for the Chiefs. The defensive backs, the wide receivers, these guys are athletes. Third baseman and catcher, we're not athletes. We're not good athletes.
You were concerned about rolling an ankle because you're getting ready to go back to training camp shortly after that. But again, guys, athletes are athletes, and they're going to compete, just as simple as that.
You just went, what are these guys doing? I had no earthly idea. If you guys want to do this, it's your funeral, not mine, okay?
The Royals had a fast break.
He just takes off, and he does a spin, and he goes like this, and frickin' slams it. I'm going, oh my God, this is gonna be unbelievable.
By halftime, they might have had the lead. Guys said, we can't get beat by baseball players. We got to step it up.
I remember it got heated.
Guys would get tomahawked. It was vicious. We were out there to win.
There was some bad blood, and I don't know what it was about, but I do remember in that game I broke my thumb. There was a loose ball. We were going for it, and
he bent his thumb back.
So I show up to spring training with a broken thumb. And then they started putting that stuff in your contract. No basketball games in the offseason.
I've always felt that the worst thing that you can ever do is to arbitrarily set a goal that might well be beneath that which you're capable of achieving. We have one goal and one alone, and that's to soon present the Kansas City Chiefs, champions of the National Football League.
Go OGs, go!
Going all the way,
From the early 80s to that early 90s period, you know, we went from being a team that was never really very good till all of a sudden here we are with Marty Schottenheimer and feel like we had a chance to win the Super Bowl.
Raise your eyes up. Right above is the next rung. Reach out and grab that rung. Pull yourself. Push your buddy. The next rung is today. Let's go.
First and goal to go at the 6. 13 seconds left in the game. Montana takes the snap. Back to throw. Looking right. Firing a pass. Touchdown, Kansas City!
Christian! Keep it up.
Marty's no frill. He was definitely a guy that was all about football and football first.
Stay up on the stutter. Don't go down.
He's one of those guys that basically had his own philosophy of how you do things, and you know, you still have those sayings of Marty's in your brain.
First step in a ladder, man. One play at a time. You climb a mountain, you take one step at a time. Don't go looking at the top, you end up slipping on your ass. The only step that's important is the next one. One play at a time, finish everything we got.
Throwing is Montana. Cox his arm, dumps a pass wide open, leaping two-hand catch made, 7-yard line by Cash. He's in for a touchdown!
Half the journey's behind. The best part of the journey is ahead. What we all have to do now is grab the oars, start rowing together. Let's get this boat going fast. Let it cross the finish line in front.
Back then, you know, there wasn't a lot going on in the offseason. Guys were looking for stuff to do.
Off seasons were really cool. I enjoyed it. I tried to do things that were not football related.
In the practice facility, there used to be a basketball court. After practice, we would go up there and play basketball.
Some of the guys kind of came to me and were like, hey, we got this team, would you like to play? And you know, once they saw me play, they were like, they definitely wanted me.
They told me as a rookie that I had to play on this basketball team. Of course, you know, I got this long arm span.
Guys talking about how much fun it was and all the places they would go, and I was trying to get in any way I could and finally got in.
Basketball was one of those things that drew us together. The love of the game, I guess, is why everyone played.
Every NFL player thinks he could have played in the NBA, I'm just telling you.
We were barnstormers.
The off-season basketball team was a highlight, trust me. It was a lot of good stories.
We'd load everybody up, we'd take off and come back 3 or 4 days later.
We just got in the van and rolled out. That was it.
Alan would coordinate everything. The setup for the hotel, the gym, the uniforms.
I think he used to trade some tickets for the motorhome.
I forged a relationship with a place called Lovall RV. Dale Lovall became a good friend of mine, and I would take him out at some autographed footballs, different things when I could. Looking back, I wouldn't have turned me loose with a big motorhome like that either, but they did.
Alan is like the godfather around here.
We don't call him Rat Boy for nothing, you know, but he would get things right.
We had one breakdown once in Lawrence, and we couldn't. It was on a Sunday afternoon. We literally rented a U-Haul. We was in 30 minutes. We rented a U-Haul, and those players all got in the back of that U-Haul, and I drove them to Lawrence.
So you were the one driving?
Oh, I was a driver. Oh, yeah. Yeah. To make up for it, I rented limousines from Lawrence to Kansas City.
I was not a part of that, nor do I believe that. Alan spent some money on some limousines.
It was funny because I wondered what budget that came out.
You know, to this day, Lord knows how much money he made on those basketball games.
He did all right, he said.
Yeah, I'm sure he did. I'm sure he did. We would go to Fargo, North Dakota, go to South Dakota. We would go to all these places that we had never been before anyway. Everybody cracking jokes and laughing.
There's a lot of stories that I can't share.
Man, it was just like a rolling locker room, to be honest.
Those are the ones you remember, right? The ones you can't share?
Early on, we would play school faculties, fire departments, police departments, the Raiders, the 49ers, the Denver Broncos a couple times. So it really got to be a thing after a while, and we played in some pretty big places. And I don't ever recall losing.
So who's the best player on the team?
Oh, it was me by far. By far.
Whoever is sitting here is going to say them. So I'm here now, so it was me.
So I was the leading scorer.
I remember him dribbling the air out of the basketball.
Yeah, he makes fun of me because he would make it seem like I dribbled a lot, but I didn't shoot. But I had to be the entertainer.
I was one of the high flyers on the team, short Michael Jordan.
I keep going back to that Wichita Police Department. Gosh, I think I dropped about 25 on them, maybe 30.
Probably a lot of short guys on the police staff. A lot of garbage buckets.
We had a couple of girls that would come in and school us a little bit here and there, too.
I got my cousin to recruit some of her ladies. She was an all-star in the WNBA.
Man, she was killing. Late in the game, we were kind of close, and she shot a three, and I blocked it, and I went down and dunked it. Got booed by the crowd.
It was a lot of fun, but it was a lot of responsibility.
We would barnstorm on the weekends, come back and practice during the week.
Wherever Alan stopped the van, we would get out and go in and get ready to play.
We go up to Richmond, Missouri, we're playing in this game, and we're warming up before the game.
We call him Big Hand Johnny. You know, he was a guy that couldn't catch a football, but he had the biggest hands I've ever seen. And, you know, he palmed the ball and just went up, just boom.
He slams it and pulls on the rim, and it shatters the backboard.
You know, the whole damn gym felt like it was rattling.
After it was happening, they go, hey, who's going to pay for this? I was like, make sure you got insurance.
About 2 days later, the guy calls me and he goes, hey, I got a problem. I said, what's that? And he goes, we don't have any insurance. So I got a whole bunch of autograph stuff, and he was going to auction it off. And he would have made way more than enough money to fix it. We thought it was done. 6 months or so goes by. There was a local writer back then. He had this article that he's going to write about how we broke this basketball goal and walked out on the money. So I gave this stuff to this dude, and he ghosted him and kept all this stuff. We got in contact with enough people that it cleared our name from it, and the article was never written. But I was touch and go there for a little bit. I was a little bit nervous.
He's weathered more storms than anybody in Chiefs history, okay? Every time they went out there, I thought, this is not smart. I think it started to fade just from an injury standpoint.
As a business, you had to start looking at it as the safety of the guys, just making sure that they got in and out and not get injured and that kind of stuff. You didn't want that on your conscience.
The reason that we ended up stopping the program, we were playing against a local fire department, and a guy reached out to swat a ball out of one of our players' hand. We just drafted him. His name was Chris Penn. He got poked in the eye.
And you knew, like, oh, man.
I think as soon as Chris got hurt, everyone kind of knew that, man, this is dangerous.
You know, sometimes things happen, you know, but it wasn't like I tore ACL or something like that. It was just a simple scratch.
Marty wasn't very happy about it.
You know, it's like going to the principal's office. You know, something you really don't want to do, but you got to face it man to man.
I wouldn't have wanted to be on the other side of that desk.
It wasn't a pleasant one, you know. I wasn't, you know, when I say guaranteed to be on the team all the time, so I'm like, hey, let me just go ahead and break it in easy, you know, try to break it in easy.
Oh, he was very animated, very upset.
That's probably the first time Alan ever had to go to the principal and meet him,
I didn't like to be on the other side of that desk when he was that mad, and so it made it an easy transition for me to pull the plug on it at that time.
The thing you didn't want to think about is it happening to you. If you got cut, you didn't get a dime more. There was no guarantees.
All those small towns out that way, they were calling us and because they was trying to set up the next year. And these are people that I had relationships with for, 6, 7, 8 years and knew that we were the biggest fundraiser they had all year. It bothered me because I knew it hurt them. There wasn't a whole lot of ways to make that kind of money back then for a school. But it was certainly the right decision at the right time.
It'll never happen again. It'll never be like that.
Driving down the highway late at night, all of us in that motorhome, and everybody's just telling stories and laughing and cutting up. It was a total blast.
It's an extension of the locker room.
Guys had a lot of fun and a lot of bonding on those basketball trips.
It was silly. It was a silly time, but it was a fun time.
My memory of all of it is that, man, it just brought us together.
I know I loved all my teammates that I played with, probably have a closer connection.
Good for the guys to get together, good camaraderie, and creating that brotherhood.
The coolest thing about it is that we got a chance to hang out and sort of connect with guys and find out where they were as humans.
If you think about it now, 30-something years later since I played, that might have been the only time somebody got to see a chief in person.
When we come into town, you see the town closed down, because they wanted the opportunity to see what's going on.
It makes you feel real good about it, that you were serving multiple purposes, not just raising money, but you're also impacting lives. And I think when the job description is set, yeah, we're supposed to be football players, we're supposed to win on the football field, but I think there's more to it.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Wow, how about that? Wow. So the Texans were playing basketball way back then too, huh?
Wow. The Texans, wow. How about that? You want to talk about throwback?
This thing might fall apart in my hands.
Oh, you gotta be kidding me. Wow. Wow, it's in great shape.
We didn't have cool stuff like this.
Yeah. That's pretty neat, man.
But they look good, though, I think they could come back in.
Look at the stitching on it, man. They must have did this in the backyard or somewhere.
Oh, they had the whole uniforms. Look at that.
Oh, and these short shorts. This is like the Boston Celtics of 19 with the belt. That's hilarious.
That is classic. Look at that logo. That's incredible.
Wow.
That's old school.
Get a load of that. How about that?
Can I stand up? Will it kill you here if I stand up? Okay, boys.
This might be back in style now.
You sure these aren't the cheerleaders' outfits?
I can tell you what, we didn't play in these shorts. This is way before ancient time here, brother. This is some tree history right there. This needs to go up in the archives.
I do not.
What a keepsake that is. Pro Football Hall of Fame's going to want that when they see it. I'll guarantee you that much.